Good evening, everyone, and tonight we'll be hunting down Coral Pukei. And he is quite the pain in the butt. This is honestly my third attempt at killing him, and between the second and third, I went and actually just forged whatever pieces of armor I could, so it's not the full defender set anymore, it's just a bunch of random pieces. That seemed to have done the trick. He's a pretty cool variant. I actually think he's quite a bit more of a challenge than regular Pukei. Although, to be completely honest, it's largely because when you first encounter him, you really don't have great gear. So it takes an inordinately long amount of time to kill him. So that led me to what seemed like a pretty fun idea. Hop over to my main save file and just see how long it would take to bash him to death with a super high upgraded Safi Jiva charge blade. Because I never did go through and farm out all the Fatalis stuff or even the Elatrion gear. I just kind of burnt out on the game before those really became the mainstays. Was working on doing some of the Raging Brachydio stuff, and that's around the point when I stopped playing the original Iceborne. But I still had pretty decently upgraded gear. Like, killed Raging Brachy a couple times. But anyway, after I get this kill, because a little bit of a spoiler, I do manage to successfully kill him, I went to check my main file, and something strange had happened. It was only up to the end of Monster Hunter World. And then it occurred to me, when I first got my PS5 and was transferring everything over and downloading everything that I owned and doing all that sort of stuff, I didn't actually have PlayStation Network or PlayStation Plus. So what I think has happened is when it imported my save, it only imported up to World for whatever reason. So I must not have I don't know, I must not have updated it at the appropriate moment, because when I first started doing these videos, I had to download Iceborne, and I realized that for some reason I had installed World but never installed Iceborne. So I guess when I just went to import the save where I hadn't actually already installed Iceborne, it downgraded my save to the last save point before I started Iceborne. I had noticed a few oddities the few times where I went back to the main screen. Like, I thought that it looked like my playtime was a little low, because I know I put around 500 hours total into it, to the game in total, and that's across a couple different characters, but I thought my time played on my main looked a little bit low. Well, yeah, it definitely looked a little low. It's because it had reverted out the entire Iceborne expansion, which that was a relatively disheartening moment. So instead of going in and doing a second kill tonight, or doing a really quick speed kill of this dude, because, you know, fully kitted out character, you could take Coral Pukei down really, really fast, which I thought would have been a hilarious way to end the video. I just decided to go ahead and put it up here and do a little bit of commentary and share that sad story with you guys. I don't know. It was just a weirdly sad moment. Feels like I lost a whole lot of time. And I can't honestly think of a way to get it back, because after I bought the PS5, well, I got the PS5 as a gift. But after I got it, once I cleared out and thought I had transferred everything from the PS4, I reformatted it and gave it to someone else as a gift, because I knew they could have some fun with it. So as far as I'm aware, whenever I checked my download available saves from the download on PSN, I didn't have anything that would have let me download my character again. I'm tempted to delete my guy out of the first slot and just see if it'll make that available if there's no one actually in it at that point in time, but I don't know. Whatever, I guess it doesn't really matter, since we're getting ready to move into Iceborne, and about the only thing you would really do with an older game once a newer Monster Hunter comes out is start a new playthrough. So I mean, this guy will be the main character for this series, but I guess I'm going to have to actually go back and do some of the deliveries and get some stuff opened up for him, because now he is my most furthest... Well, let me rephrase that. I sound terrible whenever I slur all that stuff together. He is now my most advanced character. As such, I guess I have to actually start treating him properly. Well, I guess once we finish getting to endgame and wilds, we actually will bounce back to this series. Honestly, kind of thought we wouldn't really be spending a whole lot of time with this series once we got to wilds, but now I've got some motivation. Gotta get back to actually being in the true end game of world. I guess that shit happens. It's not like when I remember being in middle school and playing Final Fantasy VIII, and I was doing a high level run, so I had went to the islands closest to heaven and hell and just ground for hours. And then my stepfather ended up needing to change a breaker. Or not a breaker, but a fuse. We actually had a house that was old enough to have a fuse box. So, guess who hadn't saved in about 7 hours? Yeah, all that stuff was lost. But this is more of a loss in the order of a couple hundred hours. So, a little demotivated at the moment, but whatever. I'll get over it. And still have a new game to look forward to playing. I'm not going to stay up till midnight to play it tomorrow. I do a job. I teach. I can't go into that job exceedingly exhausted for a game. I can go into it pretty exhausted for other reasons, like my child's sick at night, but not for a video game. It's just not worth it. It's not as bad of a job as people make it out to be. It's actually quite enjoyable being a teacher. I enjoy talking about sciences. I teach chemistry and anatomy and ecology, and they're fun subjects. Not really a master of any of them. You don't really have to be a master of any of those subjects to be a high school level teacher, but I know enough about them to have fun with it and to teach people some basics. So, gotta be well rested to handle doing a STEM class. Anyway, I think I'm done rambling for the evening. Kind of gotten thrown off, so most of my ramblings didn't have much to do with Monster Hunter. Having a hard time just sort of staying focused on this, but we'll get it back together. We'll get into it tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll try to take down Nightshade Paolumu, and I can't remember what comes after that. I think Burial? See if we can't get 2 down in one day. Anyway, you all have a good night, and remember, if I can kill it, so can you.
return to Astera and prepare for the next investigation.